Today we're going to practice some woodworking by making this archery target stand. I want to be able to shoot my bow more, and building an archery target stand is going to be a way more conducive way for me to be able to practice more regularly. We're going to do this project on the cheap today. We're going to build it out of 4x4s that you can get down at Home Depot, as well as just use some basic tools, a miter saw, some chisels, a handsaw, nothing too crazy here. Want to try to do this on the cheap. This morning over a cup of coffee, I sketched out this little design for a timber frame style archery target holder based on the bag target that I have. So I ran down to Home Depot after I went to the gym and I bought about $60 worth of materials, about 4 of these 4x4 posts. And one of the comments I got on the last video was that people seem to really enjoy minimalist tool approach. And while it does frustrate me to my core because I love good tools and I was spoiled for so long with expensive tools, the reality is I only have some basic tools, so that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna lean into that a little bit, and I think I can do this whole project with all the tools on this table and the miter saw. I've got a cheap circular saw that's the bane of my existence, a couple of chisels, Japanese handsaw, 2 different squares, a little ruler, a mallet for chiseling, a tape measure of course, and a pencil. That should be enough to do some basic joinery layout. I'll use a miter saw to cut the material down to size. So there's only 6 pieces to assemble for this. I've got the 2 tall vertical parts, 2 cross pieces, and 2 feet. So I've laid out the first joint here. I think it's technically a bridle joint, so it'll have 2 shoulders and a sort of a tenon in the middle. I'm gonna keep the center part and take off the top and the bottom for the 2 vertical posts, and then this top horizontal piece, you're looking at the top of it right now, will have the opposite of that. Typically, I would do this like 1/3, 1/3, but it comes out to like 1 1/6 to make these 3 parts perfectly even. So I just made the center part a perfect 1 inch, and I worked that out from going in the center and a 1/2 inch in each direction. So I'm gonna do the same thing to match to the top part, get this all fit together, and then we'll make the next piece according to that. First one went pretty okay, but I forgot to knife my joints. So they're not as clean as I would like. And it's okay if this thing isn't perfect. I'm using store grade lumber that I didn't plane. So it's not square, it's not flat, but that's okay. Let's keep cutting. I used the bandsaw. I know I was trying to use basically a rock and a chisel to do this project, but this store-bought lumber appears to be wet. It just it's really spongy and bouncy, and it's really hard to get it to cut. This chisel is also probably starting to take a beating, but I used the bandsaw to get most of it out, and now I'm going to try to continue to chisel away. It was going really well, and then I got overzealous and tried to do it quick, trusted my measurement, which I shouldn't have. I should have snuck up on it. It's too wide now, so I'm gonna clean it up and then probably just put like a wedge in it because I don't really feel like remaking the piece. This is all just sort of a practice. It's not gonna affect the way it works in the end. A bummer, but the whole idea was to just you know, brush up on my skills a little bit on something that's not super important. Such is life. We'll keep going here. It's not nearly as bad as I thought. I tapered the tenon, it seems, when I was filing it out, but it's still snug at the bottom, and it's only on the one side, really. Again, I'm just probably gonna make a sliver of a cut off of this stuff and jam it in there. Let's get the other side on here and see where we're at. We made a thing, woohoo! I have this saw, there's this little flip down, which you can do as like a hard stop here so that you can't cut too deep, and then you can slide along. So we could theoretically do the shoulders with this. So we'll have to do some fiddling, but I think this is gonna work. After many swear words and the camera stopping in the middle of filming that, so some of it's on my iPhone, I just want to make this thing, and every single little thing is fighting me. I got this piece done, going to get something sharp and knife a line of exactly the width of it. All right, let's try this again. See how off we are. All right, hey, look at that. It's not the worst. Oh, that hurt, holy shit. Lost my cool for a second. I think we can all relate to that. Tripping over stuff, things aren't working, you're hungry. We're better now. So I have it just kind of gently propped up on the bench. I've cut two long foot support type things. I think we're just gonna do that same half lap style. This thing is looking good. I just need to sand some of the layout marks off and then just make sure all the joints are tight. I'm just gonna screw the thing together and then I'll probably put a little bit of finish on it just to keep it kind of nice, because eventually it'll probably end up outside. I don't terribly care if it gets beat up, but for the sake of making things nice, we're gonna do that. And I also was thinking I'm gonna take this round over bit and round over some of these sharp edges just to keep it from splitting and being crappy over the years. Maybe I should screw it together first. We'll screw it together first and then we'll do this. Now that I've made an absolute dusty mess in here and my sinuses hurt, I think we're finally ready to put some finish on this. Got some polyurethane here. We're just gonna brush something on it just to give it a little color, a little protection. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna lose half the brush in the finish as it sheds because this brush is cheap as. And there you have it, folks. Is the thing perfect? No, most of these joints are kind of janky. Did we have some fun along the way? Sorta. We were also a bit frustrated from times, but we persevered and got through it. This thing is more than sturdy enough for what I'm gonna do to it. I'm sure it'll get abused. Eventually it'll probably end up in my basement because it's getting to be winter here and I don't want to shoot outside, but I can still get reps at a few yards in the basement, so this will be nice and handy for that. And then in the spring it'll probably find its way back outside. If you enjoyed this video, I hope that you'll consider subscribing down below, give this video a like, and if you have any comments, questions, concerns, want to tell me that I'm an idiot, go ahead and leave that down in the comments and I'll be chatting with you guys down there. And until next time, keep being awesome.